Bollocks! I told those idiots not to let anyone through. You. Name, rank, and reason for interrupting an active crime scene. For your sake, the last one better be bloody good. A hobbyist detective? I can't fault the drive. I read the Boulder's Mouth crime reports like a starving wereball before I worked for the Fist. But you should leave it to the professionals. It's not healthy for civilians to see scenes of such a sensitive nature. Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stelmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her. Very nice. Correct on most counts. You might prove useful. Here's all I found. The Duke was paralyzed by poison. Absolutist symbols scrawled on the floor in blood. Hand removed, pre-mortem. The symbol's the bit that bothers most. You use poison when you want to get away with murder. So why leave a symbol at the scene of the crime? Doesn't make any sense. And the removal of the hand. I've a theory, but... Oh, well, you're a civilian. That one will be for me to follow up.
She's not just reticent to share her theory, she's hiding a physical object. A document of some sort.
Oh, you saw. I suppose there's no harm in sharing it with you. It's just a theory, after all. I've been working on an assignment. A side project of sorts. I think the removal of the hand is the key, but I just can't figure out how. Corpses without hands are showing up all over the city, together with dioramas of death and murder. It has to be connected. The brutality of it. The unnecessary brutality. My theory is that it's got something to do with the Lord of Murder himself, Baal. The higher-ups don't want to hear that, of course. The last thing they need is public hysteria about a cult that was supposed to have died out over a century ago. I'd follow up myself. But while this uniform gets me into certain places, it keeps me out of others. Especially places that don't want to be found. Perfect. Unofficially, mind. As far as the higher-ups are concerned, you're still just a civilian. If you end up breaking any laws, well, I won't be able to help you. Report back to me if you find anything. And thank you. If I'm right, you'll be doing a great service to the city.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice, adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Fina, Cirrus, arbiters for the hells, exemplars of justice.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos.
Your contract, Wyll. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. No contract is ended without sacrifice. A cost must be paid. Wyll Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Mizora, you arsehole!
Choose. Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Wyll gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
Time and again, Wyll's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pact, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing. A Baal spawn? Gosh. I know what it is to have a closer connection than most with the gods. But with Baal, that's not a bond I'd like to be bound with. You should be careful. Very, very careful.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. I beg your forgiveness for such undue impertinence. From now on, I promise him the same measure of respect he's shown his father. Oh, I almost forgot. Wyll sold his father's life for his freedom. My mistake. Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead after all. Why? I'm supplying Wyll with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand. The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise, and you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first hell my home, Avernus, my mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy.
Wyll sacrificed his own father to be free of the pact. Remarkable resolve, if you can harden your heart. The Night Singer would approve. I need to reach its very center and confront the Mother Superior. Lady Shah decrees she is no longer fit to lead. There will be plenty of others there too. If we can get them to see sense, I would rather we spare their lives. I don't want to lead a congregation of corpses like Balthazar and Ketheric.
Patricide is often the first step toward greatness. But I hope Wyll does not regret sacrificing his infernal powers.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mazora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I didn't. I don't. My sacrifice kept Baldur's Gate safe from Tiamat's rage. But that doesn't mean that the leash never chafed. That I was content to lap up whatever nonsense Mazora fed me. The leash has been broken and my father left for dead. Tomorrow I celebrate my gain. But today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 Netherstones and take back our minds. And the city. From the brain.
Hello, fellow citizen. I'm not suspicious. Are you?
The girl is hiding something from the other one. She has candy in her pocket.
You spotted it! It's spy candy! Because I'm a spy for the Absolute! Whee!
This game sucks dead knolls. When do I get to be the Steel Watcher?
Halt, citizen! Wait right here for Steel Watcher scanning. Ooh, a snitch! I mean, good tip there, citizen. You may pass. Don't move, Cinnamon. Now, inspection protocol initiated. Hand over that candy.
Wyll Ravengard, the stain of Baldur's Gate. To think your father's blood flows through those damnable veins.
Cordular Eltan? By the 9 hells, what are you on about?
Lady Mazora told me everything. How you slaughtered your own father. How you crave his power. How you mean to make the city bow to you and you alone.
That meddling ghoul. Eltan,
Shut it! My family's duty is to Baldur's Gate. I won't have the Hell's errand boy poison my city! The Blade of Frontiers, hero of the Sword Coast, and his own father's killer. I can barely believe it. Stand down. I believe you. The Battle Lord help me. What darkness has fallen upon us? Wyll, there's something you should know. On his way from Elturel, Ravengard sent a messenger with word of the cult. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but as usual, he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult would be successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. And he knew that to protect the city, one trained in the ways of the champion would have to rouse the worm living beneath. If I'm not mistaken, that would be you. A bronze dragon, to be precise. He sleeps beneath us, even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Ansor, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Balduran he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city faced countless threats, but the Baldurians overcame them all. There was never any need to call upon the worm. Until now. This is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. Your father was right. We need Ansor's help. With him gone, the worm's awakening now falls to you. Take this, the legend of Ansor. The bards call it a tall tale, but every last word is true. Let it set the path before you. Thank you. In darkness, I see your light. I should go, gather allies. We'll join you in your hour of need. Free the worm. Let his tempest swallow the Absolute and its allies. May Lady Tymora smile upon you.
Curse that rotten devil and her forked tongue, trying to set Eltan against me. She's a damnable inferno of chaos. What matters now is that Eltan saw sense, and we know our path forward. We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansor, the heart of the gate. Go on, read the legend of Ansor. Then we can plan our next steps.